Caitlin Clark fires back at criticism of her on-court behavior. "I'll never lose my passion. That's who I am." The Indiana Fever star addressed criticism of her on-court emotions. Caitlin Clark has spent much of her career turning emotion into momentum, but that same edge is now under a microscope as the Indiana Fever search for consistency. The Fever guard was asked directly Monday about criticism of her on-court behavior after a stretch in which her reactions, exchanges with officials, and a viral sideline moment with head coach Stephanie White became talking points around the WNBA. It was the kind of question that follows only a handful of athletes, the ones whose every expression can become a national conversation. Clark, however, didn't sound interested in becoming a quieter version of herself. "I don't think I would be as good of a player if I was very stoic and straight-faced all the time," Clark told reporters. "I think you always want your mind to be neutral, but you also want to be excited and passionate and fiery and feisty." That balance has become part of the discussion around Clark in her third WNBA season. She remains one of the league's biggest draws, but the Fever's uneven 5-5 start has sharpened every critique. When a team expected to contend sits closer to the playoff cut line than the top of the standings, frustration becomes easier to dissect. The latest scrutiny intensified after Clark and White had what appeared to be a tense sideline exchange during a loss to the Portland Fire. Both later dismissed the idea of deeper trouble, framing it instead as competitive emotion in a difficult game. Still, the moment fed into broader criticism. Los Angeles Times columnist Bill Plaschke described Clark's attitude this season as rude, entitled, and, frankly, not all that fun, while also taking issue with her reactions toward officials. Clark acknowledged there are moments when emotion has to be controlled, but she pushed back on the idea that passion itself is a flaw. "Maybe you have a moment with a ref here and there, or maybe you get super excited and get the crowd hyped up," Clark said. "That's what's so fun about competitive sports." She added that basketball allows fans to feel close to a player's emotional journey. "I think why a lot of people have enjoyed watching me over the course of my career is that they've been able to enjoy the fun and enjoy the ride with me along the way," Clark added. "And they've certainly been a part of it." The challenge for Clark and Indiana is turning that passion into wins. The Fever have lost 3 of their last 4, while Clark has struggled with efficiency, shooting 37.7% from the field and 32.4% from 3. That's made her demeanor a bigger story than it might be if Indiana were winning regularly. But Clark insisted she's not trying to erase the edge that helped make her a star at Iowa and carried her into the WNBA spotlight. "I'm never going to lose that," Clark concluded. "I think there's always ways to channel it and be better, and there's moments where you need it, and there's moments where you just gotta put it to the side and worry about it later."